after I yell at you. Good morning, Susanne.
Good morning, Deborah, LeeAnn.
We are going to drop into presence and talk to you today about the evolution of this beautiful light being of the Wisdom Keeper. Do you want to share more?
The Wisdom Keeper's evolution is all on the focus of celebration and detachment. Those are the gifts and the acidic states. And so, as a light being, you can just feel that energy of literally detachment from the outcome. And as we detach and we get to celebrate what life truly is, which is being in that present moment and experiencing life fully.
As the full moon is shining upon us in this moment, at the time of recording, anyway. I want to bring forth, though, that it's also in the pulse of the gene key that is a programming partner to this. And that one is the failure to preservation to veneration. So we're playing, you can feel detachment and the space of moving into preservation are both kind of, to me, it's kind of like a stepping up and through the shadowy human tendencies that we have. Yes, the light being doesn't have them, I doubt. However, we do. And so as we step into embody this energy within ourselves, we do need to understand that we're going to be working through our failure. We're going to be working through our disappointment. Is that the shadow for the detachment one? And
The
because
It's expectations, yeah.
expectations. Okay, so which for me tends to feel like disappointment because I have such high
You have very
expectations.
specific expectations about
And
things.
then what happens? They don't show up. I don't understand. And so I'm laughing also because when you talked about detachment, at the same time, we were just talking about something that detached itself from your wall
So my
before we recorded.
this is my if you've been watching, this has been one of my things up here on my wall. And I got up really quickly and it popped off. And so this this painting,
Collage.
this
Yeah.
collage that I did, it's really reverent of the pieces of the puzzle and the cycle, but I really loved this because, the key is in the heart, and that fell off. And a little reminder, my little sign that says live in the moment, right? So this is about living in that moment. Each of our moments are what builds our life. So all the more reason to just trust that cycle and trust life. And so this was just a great reminder today for me. Was that a failure? No, but it was certainly a message for me to
Well, and also that you
focus.
carry that key and that message with you all the time. I think sometimes we think of something or we have this inspiration at the time of creating that beautiful piece of art, right? And then we hang it on the wall and then it's kind of like becomes part of the background. And what I love about this is this brings that preservation forth. It brings that um, detaching from all of the material stuff and going, oh yeah, it's all right here.
Yeah, I don't need any of that.
Yeah, I love that. Um, so let's talk a little bit about this whole evolution and what that means is, especially as a programming partner, is how it actually accentuates when we're in that space. When we're growing into that space, it actually makes our life's work that much more rich because they both exponentially um, grow together. And yeah, thanks. And visuals always help.
Yeah.
So I'm curious if we were to play with wanting to embody more of this evolutionary and energy of this wisdom keeper. I mean, I really feel her this month. It just feels like, as we close the month with the Day of the Dead and honoring our ancestors with All Souls Day, or however you celebrate it, it just feels like a very important time to be honoring our ancestors. And there's also cycles. You mentioned that a little bit earlier. We've turned the wheel, and especially with the full moon cycle, as the full moon ends, and then we begin the waning process, and it's another whole cycle. So it's like we're in this space of so many things turning and changing and moving, and how do we honor those cycles within our bodies? And it could be the cellular structure, that's regenerating, or it could also be the mindsets of who I was this time last year is not who I am now. So there's so many ways to look and honor and celebrate those, the moving and the evolving and the growing that we are all going through, versus being afraid. I think I had a conversation with a dear friend yesterday, and she's so anxious about everything. And how do we say, this is just a way of our minds, our bodies are being, they're going through an evolutionary process. We're learning how to live in a very different time than what 10 years ago even had.
Right.
Well,
so
yeah, go ahead.
As things change, sometimes we hold on to what used to be, or we hold on to certain expectations. That's where the expectation plays a role here.
Oh, yeah.
And so we don't know how good it can get, but we know what we're comfortable with. We know for a fact what this feels like, so it feels comforting. But when it's change, that's when we get kind of wonky, and we're like, I don't know. But if we can put the world on pause for a second and drop into our hearts and feel into what deliciousness we want to create, what we want to design, I mean, with help from the unseen world, certainly is here to help cheer us on, from our ancestors, as well as, divine God, Goddess, our inner wisdom,
infinite intelligence and love,
omnipresence,
So I want to go back to that for just 1 second, because there's also, when we tune into this moment, there's silence. And we can be calling up and imagining what we want to create and call into the future. But that keeps us from being, can we empty first?
Oh, yes.
Emptying has been a really big thing of mine, which, by the way, you may notice my background is different. I'm down in my living room because my office is getting worked on right now. And talk about cycles of change and fixing and preserving and venerating this 100-and-something-year-old old home, However, it puts me out of my comfort zone. I love my little comfy, quiet space. So down here, it's noisy and it's shared space. And so if you see somebody walking through, please, it's my handyman / partner. So who's upstairs plastering right now. So what I want to speak to, though, is this full moon always makes me feel like there's so much. And then once we pass that exact, which was about 20, 30 minutes ago, we're already on the other side. It's so strange. It's like a chemical balance hits. And then I'm like, I remember starting my period. It always was such a relief, oh, thank God. Now my chemicals all can calm down. It was such a relief for some reason. And it also made my system, my whole hormonal system just kind of, so taking that pause to go back to where you were.
Yeah, I had a whole discussion yesterday with somebody about that silence too. And do we give ourselves that space to be in that spaciousness from which new things can be born? The void, sometimes we call it the void. Sometimes it's, emptiness. It's, but you've got.
I call it the field lately, the unified field, because then I can tap into where am I being called? Where do I need to go? And then just listen. Because I'm always asking so many questions and I'm like, just stop asking. Just be quiet. You're going to get answers if you be quiet. I was going to say, shut up, but that's not very nice. So how do we want to encourage our lovely community at this time, which just feels, and I felt it yesterday in my abdomen. I've never been a belly processor, but lately I can feel the nervousness starting there. And I'm like, really, what is that? And finally I just had to go, oh, that's okay. It's the collective, because I was out yesterday in the world running errands and meeting a friend for breakfast and going to the dentist. And the whole time I could feel that. And I thought, is this even mine? And I think because I am practicing at tapping into the field more and more. I need to be careful when to maybe close some of that energy and just be present with me.
Yeah. And this energy is in the sacral plexus.
Oh, you're kidding.
So
no wonder.
Yeah.
So the other thing is, do you know any toning or I was even playing with my oils. I've really been tapping into rose oil to feel that divine, because rose immediately makes me feel majestic and but the other one is frankincense, and just allowing that to feel, I feel very royal. But also knowing that my unique spark deserves to be recognized, and I am recognizing it. Maybe nobody else does, but so what do you do to help you feel the unique spark light that you are?
Well, solitude or being out in nature is one of my go-tos, but also humming or toning. And it could even be as simple as humming. I did an exercise yesterday where I shared just 3 belly breaths and hum through your nose. You can't do it wrong. I mean, it will help calm your system and produce oxytocin. And
especially because then you can feel the reverberation. Did you do the humming in between or after, or where did you put the humming in?
Just to start, because some people don't feel comfortable just toning right away. So even just making sound like,
I love that. I have earphones in, so I can really hear the buzz then between them too, which
you could even cup your ear like this, and you can use a microphone for your hand and
oh, that's weird.
It's your own biofeedback loop,
I like it. So. And we always think we need so many other things to, these fancy I don't know, modalities to heal, to upgrade our system, to tap in deeper. So what I wanted to do is just let everybody know also, as we continue going through the prime gifts of this archetype of the Wisdom Keeper, that there will be on our School of Light Collective website a different healing and activation package like we have up there already for the, what was the first one we did? Oh, the Truth-Teller that we did in August. And in September, the Ecstatic Leader is coming. I'm lagging my feet on making it perfect because I'm having so much fun doing it that I get into my ecstatic space. Or I don't want to work on it unless I'm completely operating from that deeply present, loving space. And then there will be one for WisdomKeeper, as well as Cosmic Guardian and the Divine One, right? So we'll have all 5 of these packages available. And that way you can revisit not just these recordings where we talk about the different gene keys in the pulses of the moment, but also how do you get to activate that energy and embody that archetype within you?
Yeah.
So, and leadership is needed. All of these ways and being are, I can feel them wanting to be seen and felt and embodied by more and more on this plane. So hopefully that will be so.
Yeah.
Any questions? Let us know. Anything you want to add, Miss Darling Susanne?
Just put your hand on your heart.
Mm.
Just celebrate who you are, because you are love and you are so needed. So thank you for being here.
Yeah, your presence is so felt. When I drop in the field, I can feel you feeling me. I love that. And until our next time together, take excellent care.
Much love.